Ladies and gentlemen, from parts unknown, we have an interracial, intermingled, intersexual group of Caucasian men and wife beaters and black men of questionable melanin. Put your hands together, make some noise for Guns and Butter!
Whether you're chasing the bag or just trying to be a man, get ready to have your wallets, your mind, and your views on life challenged with Reckless Ray De Niro.
To the line, I'm hoping, looking at your eyes, I'm hoping you're in my life, okay, like you're in my right. They say love's not the answer, move like a dancer, devil like a cancer, no, I got a chance, her, moving forward, tell that you're not happy, but I'm being ignored, what he can buy love sadly, but you live life only once, but you're the only one. The money they watch it, shoot out like a rocket. Yeah, the flow you can't stop it.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Reckless Ray De Niro, your host of the show Guns and Butter. We are back at it again. Hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. Hope everybody got to spend some time with the family. Got to use the Face ID to open it up over here. Hold up a second. Let's go take a look here. Chilling out. Salute to Mr. Youngblood City, first one in the building today. Trying to figure out what's going on with my Rumble family over here. I'm not understanding why I'm not showing up. Gotta go find myself. Let's see what we got going over here. Alright, that's interesting. Interesting. There it is. Oh, Jesus. That took forever. Sorry, I just want to make sure I can get my chat up. I brought all my stuff today, so that way I can get into the live here. I'm watching myself work on my stuff. Okay. Let's see here. So why is there no live chat? That's weird. Yeah, Rumble is acting weird right now. I don't normally have problems with Rumble, but here we are. Let's see. Huh. They're not giving me a live chat over on Rumble. That's crazy, but okay, whatever. Anyways, we're gonna dive into this. Let me go ahead and kill this noise. Boom. Okay. So we're jumping into it. Hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. We're about to get right down to business. Shout out to those of you who show up early. You get the beginning monologue. We're going to jump into it. Today we are talking about your habits and how they make or break you. Now, those of you who have tapped in have been seeing, obviously, we are over on Black Man Unfiltered Network. Always bringing things back to the money, but those conversations are most definitely relationship, manosphere topics, which I can talk about. I'm a man, not spherically shaped, but man nonetheless. But what I like to talk about is money, and my homeboy Hink in the basement. If you're not subscribed to Hink, you guys definitely should be. We'll be having some community posts going out covering some of the channels that I am frequenting and some of the channels that I am starting to frequent, because I definitely prefer narrowing in on what I believe to be the solution to most things. Most of y'all getting married because you're poor, not able to sustain relationships because you're poor, starving because you're poor, housing unaffordable because you're poor. And I believe in nailing the root as opposed to batting the leaf. It doesn't matter how you act if you don't have the ability to mobilize some semblance of comfort. You don't understand how to navigate the hellscape. I'd like to say the financial hellscape in which we find ourselves, because you got to play the game regardless. So we've been tapping in on some more content that is a little bit more focused on the money, because we don't want to be broke. And honestly, this platform was originally started to focus on things from that angle. So, we taking it back to the roots. So we're talking about the habits, your habits. A lot of people have bad habits just across the board. You have bad habits in your finances for sure. I mean, they've been talking about it. You guys are spending more than you make. You guys blew it out the park on Black Friday. You guys made some YOLO purchases. Some of you got Christmas knocked out. I know I got Christmas mostly knocked out, but we pay We pay cash for Christmas. We don't finance anything but assets around here beyond what we need. Obviously, we've instituted a little bit of the float for the bull run to get more money into the market, because the 25%, 26, 27, 30% float for a couple of few $1,000s, you know, the amount of money that we make in the market covers that. So we strategically use it, but we are keeping it to a minimum even this year, just because anything could happen. And I'd like to, now that we've got a little bit of comfort, you know, we say we don't try to go back to the level that we were previously at. So we're definitely running less of a float than we did the previous bull run, and the bull runs prior to this one. Shout out to the Bitcoin bull run, which is coming up. But you've got the bad financial habits. You got bad health habits. Your bodies are failing you. You're falling apart. Sometimes I feel like I'm falling apart. I'm having one of those weeks where, you know, we came back from the vacation. I had too many days off and screwed up my sleep schedule. And, you know, came back this week just injuring myself repeatedly. It seemed like every day it was a different battle with a different injury. And there's a lot of blood involved. It was terrible. But, you know, being healthy helps because you heal faster. Our bodies are not in good shape. We got bad health habits. Shout out to those of you over in the Rumble sphere. I'm happy that we got this up and running. I don't know why we don't have a live chat. That is weird to me, but, you know, we're going to roll with it. It was we did some last minute settings up. Definitely hit the like button on your way in. Show ya boy some love. You can hit the subscribe. I actually throw the support banner down here, so that way while we doing this, you guys can support the platform, support the channel should you choose. Let's see here. Boop, boop. But what? So we've got bad financial habits. We've got bad health habits. We've got bad relationship habits. A lot of us are training currently right now with the way that we interact with people of the opposite sex. Or for those of you who are into the LGHD TV community, shout outs to Joker. Over on Better Bachelor, definitely tap into his content. Some interesting stories coming from that guy. Don't necessarily agree with him on everything, but there's definitely some stuff as men that we align on. I don't necessarily know, like, obviously there's stuff, different castles, different realities, but, you know, the way that we interact with people builds habits. Anything that you do regularly builds a habit. That's just what you end up being. That's who you are. That's what you do. When you interact with people in the same fashion, if you consistently show up into a relationship guarded, you consistently show up into a relationship with the intent that the other person is out to get you or to do you harm, or they are a resource to be extracted from, or they're something that, you know, you have some sort of level of expectation tied to. I'm not gonna act this way until it's earned. I'm not gonna be nice until this far into the relationship. That just becomes who you are. And you're really setting the habit of learning how to not treat the person that you want right, which is an interesting way to go about dating, in my opinion. I don't know. I find it, me personally, I treat everybody exactly the same. So, like, I can't even wrap my head around the concept of, oh, I'm not doing this until this point in the relationship. Like, it's actually really corny and weird to me. I'm just like, you treat everybody the same, and then, like, if that's not your person, you let them go and shut up and move on. Like, I don't understand. It seems like a lot of people function with a level of expectation of other human beings which cannot be controlled, trusted, or counted on. And they're so focused on controlling the outcome of the other person that they're not really controlling their outcome. It's weird. It's you got to focus on yourself. So we're gonna dive in. We're gonna talk about some habits, and I'm gonna hash this out because we're gonna wrap up around 10 tonight. And I'm just gonna rock out. Like, if I got some people that want to jump in the chat and have the conversation. Oh, T Wriggles is in the place. What it do, T? Homie T's always showing up to show support. So is the homie Mr. Youngblood City. I appreciate you guys. Obviously, I got the best chat in the world. Those of you who are ghost watching over on Rumble, if you want to jump in the chat, because like I don't have a way to post a link over there, because we don't have a live chat. Normally, you guys don't chat anyway. But if you guys want to swing through over on YouTube, or we are live streaming over on Twitch at Reckless Raid and Arrow. They haven't kicked me off there yet somehow. Definitely stop through if you guys want to talk. So I got one of the best chats in these YouTube streets, if I don't say so myself. When the peoples roll out, you know, they roll out. And it's a good place. We have the conversation. You guys can contribute to the show that way. If you want to come up after I'm done with the monologue, we'll drop the link in the chat. If you guys want to rap about what we're talking about. What I am trying to do, though, folks, is we are reining this in to staying on topic. Look, I've got to get better at this. So I'm trying to learn how to put my foot down as a host of this show. And at the end of the monologue, we're going to do some updates because we got some big updates for the channel, which is cool. Some things that you're going to see changing on both Guns and Butter and, well, not Guns and Butter. It doesn't really affect this show, but on future financial strategies and crypto portfolio updates, some things that we're going to be dialing into and focusing on this year. It's going to be great. And the reason I wanted to talk about habits is rolling into the new year, we're obviously going to try and get as many of the wolf pack motivated to take those steps to put themselves. What's going on, Lady Navoa in the building? Happy that you are here, sister. Always appreciate your support. Try and take as many of the people in the wolf pack to the next level as possible. Everybody does their New Year's resolutions. I do them, but they're not resolutions. They're plans, goals, and this show. Yeah, every Thursday we do Guns and Butter, Lady Navoa. Like, it's always Guns and Butter. It's always Guns and Butter on Thursday. Yeah. Thursday is Guns and Butter Day. That's the only live stream that I do on my channel. I'll be on other people's channels, but the only thing that goes on this channel that's a live stream is Guns and Butter. Unless I forget to do my uploads, then sometimes you might catch a compensatory I'm sorry live stream for one of the other shows if I don't get it uploaded on time. But yeah, we Guns and Buttering it up every Thursday evening. It's what we do. We bringing it back every Thursday. I mean, obviously we took last Thursday off for the holiday. I was going to go see my family. I don't live here, so I'm not obligated to be up in here on holidays. So so yeah, your boy actually took some time. Heck yeah. And we gonna be talking about money over here, Lady Navoa. It's definitely what we doing. We talking about habits today, though. We talking about habits. Your habits make or break you. And we're gonna touch on a few different ones. I got one more I got to touch on though. Like, our political habits are breaking us. Look at Chicago right now, or should I say, little Venezuela. You know what I'm saying? Chicago has voted themselves into being a third world country because of their habits. Like, this is just what we do. Why do we vote for them? Oh, because Democrats are for the poor. Well, Democrats are for the illegal immigrants now. They're not for the poor no more. Like, the poor people about to be outside cold and dying in Chicago. The poor people who are Americans that need help, our soldiers, our veterans that need help, our fellow Americans that might need help, they're not getting special shelters. The immigrants are. And the immigrants are complaining about the special shelters they're getting, by the way. Like, it's crazy. But why do we vote that way? Oh, because we always have. Well, they're for the poor. They say they're for the poor. They're for the immigrants now. Now, I mean, there's no question about this. What's going on, B Magic? Absolutely. Better than I deserve. Always. Always, brother. Always. So our habits do make or break us. And the things that we do consistently compound. If you make bad decisions consistently, it compounds. The same way, if you make good decisions consistently, it compounds. And then I always tell people don't go broke overnight. Usually, people don't wind up homeless overnight. Usually, people don't end up morbidly obese overnight. Usually, people don't end up rich overnight. Usually, people don't end up with Grecian god bodies overnight. Usually. Actually, I'm going to say ever. Like, I don't know anybody that just woke up and accidentally had a Grecian god body. But there's usually some decisions that are consistently made involved in whatever outcome you have, which is why I tell people I don't really have a whole lot of empathy for people because I know how stuff works. I know how stuff works. It's usually not an overnight thing. You don't just wake up destitute. It's not an overnight thing. You ever seen them people that are just so fat that they just look confused? Like it happened yesterday? It didn't happen yesterday. And then they want to tell you they're big bones as though their bones expanded and the skin and flesh just adapted to that bone structure. Like that just existed. It doesn't. Also, you didn't get that big overnight. It didn't happen yesterday. You didn't just wake up and explode. There's no drawstring you pull to just be fat. You make consistent decisions and end up fat. You make consistent decisions and end up poor. There's always a reason that you can usually reference back to. Now, people will give you all kinds of stories, and a lot of them are very touching. But there's unless it's a child, I got some space for children because they don't get to make decisions. But adults, these adults, you also get to make decisions. And generally speaking, even if you're in a bad situation, if you start making good decisions, they compound. Which is why I always focus in on the money, because that's the nexus. I'll tell you what, when you ain't got no debt, you sleep better. It's just a fact. You sleep better. You have the ability to go to the doctor. You have the ability to buy vitamins. You have the ability to get a gym membership, which you don't even need because you can work out at home. There's zero excuses for not moving your body. Like you can go walk outside. You can go run outside. David Goggins be running in negative 10-degree weather. There's no excuses. No excuses. But you can do a bunch of stuff towards the positive and let those things compound too. But that's the reason I dial in on the money, because I feel like the nexus of most people's excuses, most people's stresses, and most people's problems come down to their financial situation, regardless of whether they want to say they're happy as a clam in the ocean or whatever. I'm happier than you. Okay, you're happy, but you're always complaining. You're happy, but you don't even be smiling, bro. You're happy, but you talking about eat the rich. But you happy when you always got somebody's name in your mouth that's got more than you. You always got you in somebody else's pocket at all times that's got more than you. You always complain about your situation in comparison to the next man's situation that's got more than you. But you're happy. You're not happy. You're not. Because if you were happy, you'd be minding your damn business, living your life. Like, you're just not. And it shows. Like, the hate that you got in your heart is showing. You're not happy. You're not happy if you got to go around telling people that you're happier than them. That sounds exactly like what these people in the LGHD TV community do when they want to tell you that they're a woman or that they're a man and you need to respect their pronouns. Like, if you got to tell me, then that ain't what you are. I don't have to run around telling people I'm happy. When you see me out, you see me out. You get to see all my teeth, see me laughing. We at the club. I'm out with my friends. We joking amongst ourselves, enjoying ourselves, minding our damn business. Laughing loud. I'll laugh louder than you. What now? Happy as hell. And you sitting over here stone faced looking at what I got. Okay, you happy, bro. What's going on, Carl? Carl's in the building. Carl Alberson. But these people want to talk about how they're happy, and it's, you know, like, okay, that's fine, but like, if you're happy while you're sitting there complaining about what everybody else has that you don't, that's playing the game that you don't want to play, while you're doing that, bear in mind that the decisions you made got you to where you are. That's going to be the end of my monologue. I do want to bring up one thing before we jump into this and start breaking this down. I want to bring this up because we got to do some remembering. Got to do some remembrance. We got to do some. Okay, so hold up. I got one other thing I got to do while we chilling here. Oh, no. As you guys are filing in, I gotta copy this link. And I gotta drop it in a Discord real quick, because I am not on my game right now. T, hold up. I just saw what T said. He said, hold up, I gotta bring this one up. T said, a person that's buff doesn't walk around saying he's buff. Facts, bro. Facts. I'm just wondering how long it's gonna be until some of these chicks be running around talking about they identify as a fit woman. Like, how we hashing this out? Does everybody just get to pretend to be whatever they want? Like, I'm waiting for it, man, because I think it's gonna be funny. It's gonna be funny as heck. Because people just saying and doing whatever, it's wild to me. It is wild. Hold on, I gotta drop this link a couple of times. Let these guys know we live. Boom. And then content creation. Boom. Okay. Now, hitting the 31-minute mark. Look at that. Polish that off smooth. T said they done lost their minds. He's right. He's right. They have. The world's gone crazy. But check this out, though. I'll tell you how crazy the world's gone. This is an interesting one, and I got one more monologue for y'all, and then we can rock out for a little bit. Charlie Munger, the other half of Berkshire Hathaway, and I know those of you who aren't deep in the financial space might not know who this man is or his impact on modern-day finance, but he's the other half of Berkshire Hathaway. He is partner to Warren Buffett, who basically everybody on the planet knows. He was the less miserly of the two. Like Charlie had some quirk about him. He had the tenacity. We're seeing an era of these dinosaurs pass on. And even though he spoke very disparagingly about crypto, does not like the space, hates Bitcoin, hated Bitcoin, hated crypto, never capitulated because, you know, and I understood. I don't have to agree with these men but a lot of the stuff that I apply in my financial strategies a lot of the things that I've used to dig myself out of the holes in the financial hellscape that I was in, a lot of the tactics that I started implementing that have helped me move forward in this game that we find ourselves in here in the United States came from this man. And you've got to pay respect where respect is due. You have to appreciate, even if they stop evolving, even when they turn into dinosaurs, because they were tenacious and they won and they have receipts. So I'm gonna give it's a little quick video, and I'm gonna say some words, and then we're gonna keep moving.
This investor made Warren Buffett into one of the richest people ever. Charlie Munger died yesterday at age 99. Munger served in World War II before convincing the dean of Harvard Law School to admit him without an undergraduate degree. He later started a successful investing firm, but shut it down in 1975 to help Warren Buffett build Berkshire Hathaway. The duo spent the next 50 years making long-term investments into companies like Geico, Coca-Cola, and American Express, which make Berkshire worth nearly $800 billion today. While Buffett is far richer and more famous, Munger was always the mastermind behind the scenes. His insistence on buying quality businesses over cheap ones became Berkshire's guiding philosophy. Munger also pushed Buffett to make bets on new technologies, but when it came to crypto and Bitcoin, Munger was a massive critic, calling it rat poison. Above all his investments and donations, though, Munger may be best remembered for his witty one-liners delivered in front of huge live audiences at annual investor meetings.
Warren, if people weren't so often wrong, we wouldn't be so rich. Yeah.
This investor made Warren Buffett.
So, I'm going to put me back up there. So, like me being an ardent crypto guy, it's about identifying opportunities. That's also one of the principles that I did learn from Charlie Munger. Now, obviously, after you get to a certain age, and it doesn't matter anymore. And this is what I say about most of the gurus. Not like I understand why they got the opinion they got. They made it in the old system. They won at the old system. They capitalized on opportunities in the old system that may most likely no longer exist for you and me. They don't have to evolve. They're gonna die off rich. They don't have to. And there's nothing to say that any of us won't do the same thing once we find the thing that works. Like, I personally believe that Bitcoin is going to be, and the crypto space is going to be, a big part of my personal ascension. And there might become a point where if I get stupid rich, where I'll just keep doing what I've been doing that works. Like if like the and I'm going to be the same way when the next new thing comes along, because I'm going to be like, well, I'm going to die out. I'm good. I don't have to learn that. And I think it's dumb. And I'll be able to do that. And like, you're going to have to respect it. Oh, you wrong. You know who's not wrong? Charlie Munger's not wrong. You know why? Because he died before he was wrong. He died winning. He won the game. 99 years old. He actually did an interview 2 weeks ago. But y'all out here working so that you cannot work. That's the game y'all talking about. That man was 99 years old 2 weeks ago, did an interview, and then dropped dead. God rest his soul. Rest in power, Charlie Munger. But y'all out here working, and you wonder why you're not getting results, because all everything you're doing is to just do less work. Y'all out here navigating with the UAW parasitic mentality. You out here functioning like union workers. You want to do the least amount of work for the most amount possible so that you can just not do anything. Which is fair. But I mean, that's a loser's trajectory. Like, let's be honest. That's what losers do. This man worked every day until he was like 99 and then died. And 2 weeks ago, he gave an interview. Like, ain't nobody over here trying to work hard to not work. Now, do I want to go throw my back out and sacrifice my body for a job? Absolutely not. But do I want to find a game that I can play indefinitely and then do that until I die? Absolutely. Like, I'm not lazy. And there's a difference. Y'all trying to retire early to do what? When people retire, they die. You got nothing to do. but they sell you this idea, and then you wonder why you can't reach it, because your body doesn't want to not do anything. That I mean, I know that's kind of a crazy concept for some of you, because some of you are so incessantly dysgenic and lazy that you actually believe that that's a real state that people exist in on this planet anywhere, where they just not doing nothing. You make these assumptions that these multimillionaires, that these billionaires are not doing nothing. And then these people are in fact actually working very long hours, very hard, until they die. Which is why some of you will never be successful or wealthy, because it is work. You talking about passive income. Passive income has to be managed. As somebody who is an advocate for passive income, you have to manage it. You're managing money at all hours of the day if you're in crypto, because it doesn't turn off. You're constantly looking for stuff. You're constantly getting updated on what's going on, where your money's at. Hacks are happening. You got to make sure your crypto farm doesn't get hacked, or if you lose access to it, you figure out when you regain access to it. Hoping that the site doesn't get taken down, or it doesn't randomly go to zero, because those things happen. It's management. You're looking all over for money. You moving the money to where it's treated best, to where you get the most bang for your buck, but you don't want it all in the same basket. So you still got to diversify it. Even if you find something that's awesome, you can't put all your money there, because if it goes south, you've lost everything, because you're lazy or because you're greedy. I've done both. I've been both lazy and greedy. But there's no easy cheat code. There's no cheat code. You work hard, you get ahead, you continue working hard, you level your game up until you get to a level, I guess, where there's some sort of comfort, I guess. And then you figure out a way to maintain that. But when we look at these, what I like to call paragons in the industry, these dinosaurs, these industry leaders, and then you read about them and the way that they're portrayed, and you can definitely read pro-capitalist stuff, and they're innovators. There's other stuff where they're robber barons, and I'm like, either way works for me. They won. It's competition. This is competition, and these were the peak competitors of their time. And both of these men, both Charlie Munger, rest in peace, and Warren Buffett, were acolytes of Benjamin Graham, who was their OG. And you know what's funny? Graham and Buffett and Munger, or Buffett and Munger, didn't agree with where Graham stopped off at, because he was the dinosaur to them. But they learned from him. And when they started, he was like, yo, I don't necessarily rock like that. And they were like, you're old. You don't know what you're talking about anymore. Like, things are different. We got this. But they always paid respect, because that was their OG. So I got no choice but to follow in the footsteps of my OGs and pay my respects, because tapping into the teachings of those men, the teachings of Benjamin Graham, who taught those men, because I go back. I don't just read the Old Testaments. I want to know about the lost chapters. I want to know about who wrote it. I want to know about who taught you that. Because it's one thing to read and just say you know stuff. Because I know a bunch of people who I talk to all the time. You talk to them about financial. Oh, I know that. I know that. I know that. But they broke. Or either that or they're not implementing it. They just know. They just like to say they know stuff. People love to just say they know shit. It's been 40. We passed the 30-minute mark. I cuss a little bit. People love to say they know shit. Everybody knows shit. Where are your receipts then? Like, if you know all the same shit that I know, how are you not in the same spot that I'm in? If you know what I know, how? I give game all the time. I'm expecting some of y'all to catch up with me because some of you have better bases than I do. You have more income. You have more money. You just don't know how to flip it right. So if you know what I know and you got a larger base of assets, then you should be catching up to and or passing me. That's just the reality of it, because the amount of capital you have matters. It's the same reason that the gurus can sit there and they'll have an argument, and it always boils down to, especially when they're wrong. Oh, I got more money than you. You're right. You do. Have you been in the market as long? And do you want to track your portfolio results? Because those are different things. Because technically speaking, actually, not even technically speaking, factually, Wall Street Trapper has a lot more money than me. A lot. His portfolio has underperformed my crypto portfolio. Them's facts. They're sitting there excited about 30% gain. We sitting around 50, and I'm willing to bet, depending on how the end of this year rolls, we looking at 50+%. Currently sitting at, actually, because I'm not a liar, I'm gonna look at it right now. So we are currently sitting at, hold up, let me pull it up. Currently sitting at 47.83%. So having more money, because Wall Street's portfolio is way larger than mine. Way larger. He got funds in there. And I don't know if he was tracking the journey as he was building it out, but I know that his 20% move way dwarfs, because of what he made off that 20% because of the size of the portfolio, dwarfs my 47.8% portfolio gain, right? But the percents are the percents, because technically speaking, if you got $1 million and you made 5% this year, you probably beat my portfolio because you just got more money in the market. Are you better at managing it? No, not based on the numbers. But everybody likes to throw big numbers at people because that impresses working class and poor people. Like, it's cool. Like, I'm like, all right, I'll rock with that. Also, props to him for building up that portfolio, but it's two different industries. And people don't want to have the genuine conversation. I say your gurus are killing you with half truths. They are. Because if you're trying to do exactly what they say without doing any research on your own or any math, and like, that's the only reason they get away with saying the stuff that they say, is they don't put math involved, or they don't acknowledge that they're speaking from their current space and not the space of you're trying to get to where they at. I am not rich. I do not speak from a position of I am wealthier than anyone. I'm letting y'all know what I'm doing and then wondering why y'all are still broke. Because if you make more money than me and I'm letting you know the strategy, but you on your high horse, like, that's cool. But like, you just get a bigger paycheck. You're worth less. You have no assets. You still balling at the club on the weekend. You still got 18 Gucci belts. You trying to compete with Anton Daniel in trouser battles so that y'all can compare Gucci robes and Versace glasses and a bunch of stuff that he gets a tax write-off for, that he's writing off as a business expense that you're paying full price for, you becoming poorer trying to compete with a man that's rich, that's selling you an ideology of look at me, I got stuff, which is fine. But like on that same note, my dumb ass is still beating you as well. Because like if we were to compare assets, that'll be one thing, be a totally different thing. And if we were to sit down and look at, because like that's the reason I tell people, I'm like, if you're not rich yet, like if you ain't at the mountaintop, you got to do everything you can to claw your way up. Like I'm setting out, I'm on a mission. I'm planning on using my life's mission to fail at being a billionaire, and I'm gonna get damn close. But I also read about how billionaires navigate. I read about the commonalities between all billionaires. Guess what they all have? Debt. Guess what they all leverage? Credit. Guess what they all owned? Homes. Yeah, Not Lost coming in with his trolling comments because he lives in a third world country also. Third world, first world country. I'm assuming that all of Canada is like Chicago right now. Y'all can be New Venezuela too. Like sell drugs to the community. That's ridiculous. Dumbest shit I've ever heard. No, we ain't got to do that, Not Lost, because while I'm stupid, I do know how stuff works. So no, we don't have to do harmful things to the community to get ahead. That's what losers do. But you know who creates losers? Communists. That's what y'all want people to do so that it gets so bad that you can take over. But I digress. I mean, it's a form of capitalism. I'll give you that. I mean, that's one way to look at it. I mean, the question is what? Okay, so how they get the farmland? Like I said, I mean, you missed the internal monologue. We talking about habits and they compound. So who sold them the farmland? Did they capture it or did they buy it from people? So I'm willing to bet they bought it from people, which means that people sold it. So y'all sold out the farmland to people that poison the land. And now, I mean, honestly, Canadians aren't even as dysgenic as Americans. Like that's literally what happened to here. But people still sold that land. They chose to not be farmers no more because nobody wants to do any type of work because none of you know how to do anything. Like most of y'all do not have what's going on. Oh, actually, also, hi, Not Lost. I appreciate you, brother. I'm happy you're in the building. Ricky's in the building also. But I mean, like people, these are decisions, people. Like you can't just point the finger ethically and be like, hey, these guys that won, they're the bad guys. Like, why'd you give them your shit? Why'd you tap out? Why don't you have a skill? Why can't you do anything? Why is it every scenario that you show up in, your hand is out expecting someone to take care of you? Why is that your status quo? Why are you not building a scenario to where you go, hey, I'm not trying to go to work 30 years so that I can have to point my finger at this dude that's got shit that I don't have that also does shit that I don't do. Asking him for something. Why is that the standard? Why is it? Like, those are the things that I don't understand. People give up their rights, their money, their land, everything. Y'all give everything up because, and then wonder why the people that are playing the game that are just taking that shit are winning because you're giving it up. Farming has been corporatized. I agree with you, but it wasn't corporatized yesterday. It wasn't corporatized overnight. People gave those things up. And now we're where we are, and you guys are complaining now for what the stuff that your granddaddy, your great-granddaddy, your great-great-granddaddy, the stuff that they did, but they still gave that up. Is it also your parents' fault that you don't have a skill? That you went to college and got a worthless degree And now you're out here just dumb as hell at the whims of the government, because anytime they tell you to stay home, you still got to stay home. I don't. I never stopped working over COVID. I never had to move. I never had to do shit. But you know why? I got out of an office. Y'all all fighting over the same 5 jobs that's getting replaced by AI that ain't going to be around. Remember when they said computers was going to come take all the stupid people's jobs? Guess what? Stupid people making hella good money right now, bro. We swimming. We swimming. It's those of you who are in the office. Oh, I've got a communications degree. Guess what? ChatGPT does your fucking job now. And you still 80 grand in debt. Now what? Now what? Oh, you've got to be educated. In what? In what, Cynthia? What do I got to be educated in? What? Tell me. Tell me, Cynthia, please tell me what I need to have a degree in for you to understand that even though I have more assets, more money, literally every metric more than you, but your disqualifier is I'm dumb? I think being 80 grand in debt with no skill and an inability to work and your job getting replaced by ChatGPT is pretty dumb. Oh, snap. The one, the only Natasha Vincent's in the building. We're gonna have a moment for Natasha.
And now the show can officially begin with Natasha Vincent, the #1 moderator on the internet, currently in the chat.
Yeah, not lost. Keep believing them when they tell you to hate people who got money so that you can never have any. So you're saying that people was just giving shit away for free? Not lost. It said capitalism is inherently psychotic. It is truly the road of serfdom. There were serfs before there were capitalism in worse condition than what people who are poor now are. What are you talking about? That doesn't even make any sense. That makes zero logical sense. Like, I need you, like, honestly, you only, like, I want to hear you verbalize these points out of your mouth. Like, I need you to come up and explain this to me. Like, because it doesn't make sense. Like, that statement right there makes zero sense, considering we actually had actual serfs that actually starved to death. Actually, you know where serfdom still exists, where there's no capitalism? India, where they have a caste system where people starve to death every day. We got fat homeless people in America. Capitalism sounds pretty fucking awesome compared to a caste system, my friend. They don't have capitalism in India. They have a caste system. Would you prefer that? I mean, technically you live in a caste system now because Canada is basically a caste system with the way that the government is fucking everyone over, but you think that's better because you're comfortable and you get to watch people who have more than you suffer a little bit more than people other places. Like, you complain a lot about America for living in Canada, bro. Like, if Canada was that great and it wasn't cold all the time and y'all could go outside, then I wouldn't understand why you'd be on here at all, to be honest. In a complaining sense, like where you just like show up and you just got something negative to say all the time. Like I said, y'all ain't happy. Y'all are not happy people. Y'all are not happy. You're not happy. Like, you're not going to make me believe that you're happy. Your actions speak volumes. But it's not lost. I'm not saying that they don't. What I'm saying is, where would you rather be? Would you rather be in India with a caste system? Would you rather be in Africa? Honestly, you giving up air conditioning, bruh? You gonna go fight a lion, bruh? I don't think you built for it. I haven't seen you, but considering the way that the West is and how leftist men are, I'm gonna tell you, you ain't built to be out fucking running from lions, bro. Like, you ain't, I don't know that you can climb a tree. Like you screwed, bro. Like, it's not a scenario that anybody wants to be in. I don't want to be in it. And I'm not saying that we don't get to critique the system that we're in, going, it could be better. But like, when you're going, hey, throw this whole shit away and like, we're going to go have this other thing that we know doesn't work. Like, no, like, that is not a conversation. I'm not giving up air conditioning. You are right now either on a phone or computer talking shit in my chat on the internet. On the internet. Africa ain't got this much interwebs, bruh. like, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Like, my reference point for Canadians is Natasha. Pleasant and beautiful. Like, if y'all all ain't gonna be like Natasha, then y'all might as well quit, bro. Because she don't complain all the goddamn time. Like, be pleasant people. She's happy. Guess what she's not doing? Screaming about capitalism all the time. That's all I'm saying. She's not complaining about what other people got. She's out here playing the game very well, mind you. Very well. It's funny what happens once you start winning. Once you get some W's under your belt and you go, at least now I have the ability to mobilize myself. At least I can navigate as I see fit. Canada says you can't go outside. Natasha can be somewhere else. You inside, not lost. Natasha out getting the sun on her skin, feeling good, smiling. You inside looking outside, talking about, I hope the cops don't come beat me today for stepping out on the porch to breathe some fresh air. Oh no, we all die in capitalism. Like, bro, you miss me with that. I'm not having it. I'm not having it. So we gonna jump into these habits. Now, where y'all want to start? I'll let the chat decide. Are we starting with relationships? We starting with politics? Or we gonna talk about that bag first? Where y'all want Reckless to start with it? Matter of fact, not lost. You choose. We talking about habits and how they make or break you. Where you want to start? You want to start with your body? You want to start with your relationship? You want to start with the politics? You want to start with the money? What you feeling, Not Lost? Not Lost is directing the show today. I'm gonna wait for him. What you want to talk about? Where you want to start with this? Because I can go at this from any of these angles. Bruh. Every morning. Well, I don't do push-ups to exhaustion, but I have a workout routine every morning that I do at home. 100%. I'm 100% agreeing with that. And okay. So, Not Lost has decided we're going with health. Now, when it comes to health, habits really do. Like, I mean, Not Lost's point right here. He said, wake up in the morning, do push-ups to exhaustion. It's like 3 cups of coffee. 110%. 110%. Now, I've got but I mean, you know how many people wake up and don't move? Like, they don't move. Like, people who, like, it weirds me out because I'm such a not morning person that I can't just get, like, it's hard for me to get up, roll out of bed, and go to work. The only days I do that is normally I don't normally do it on Fridays. So we've been working 6 days a week, which is covering, like I told y'all, if you're not working 60 to 100 hours, don't talk to me about your current situation and how broke you are, because my ass works 60 to 100 hours a week. Well, normally it's split between about 45, 50 hours at the business, and then the rest of it is made up on content creation, doing this stuff. Before I was doing this, it used to be doing Uber or a second job, like something sitting down, something sedentary though, like something that's not like wearing on the body as much. But you know, we evolved a little bit past that. Not something that I wouldn't do again, but we don't have to now, and I enjoy doing this, so we trying to make some waves happen with this. Oh, also, one more thing, since this is official, I don't like talking about stuff before it's official, because I know you guys people on YouTube like to hate on people. So hold up a second. I'm gonna pull this up. Sorry, I totally forgot this part, and then I'm gonna get back to the health. I have officially What's going on, Will Crypto? Bro, Will Crypto, I'm happy you're here to hear this. You're going to get a kick out of this, buddy. Check this out. So I normally don't, like I said, I'm not one to start talking because I don't like jinxing stuff. So until the deals are done, we're not talking about nothing, right? So this last week over the holiday, I checked my page, my email for the platform. I haven't switched it over. I haven't put it in my new phone yet. So I don't get those email notifications. So also, you guys don't ever email me suggestions or content or anything. So it didn't really matter because I was like, nobody cares. And, you know, you guys show up here every week and I appreciate you and we rock out. But I was like, ain't nobody really caring about my little old me like that. Nobody cares what old Reckless Ray De Niro's doing with this small unmonetized channel and his, because he won't make content for the masses. He makes content for smart people, and Not Lost be coming and challenging me on an intellectual level to be better and holding me accountable. So like, there's just not a lot of people over in these parts. Like the 12 of y'all that's watching right now, shout out to the Rumble fam. Like somehow Rumble always keeps me leveled out. So I got like at least 10 people here. But those of y'all that are watching right now are kind of my tribe. And like I told people, I'm like, I'm good with the content that we're doing. I feel it's my content's authentic to me. Like I'm not just out here making stuff. I'm not trying to get in the algorithm. It'd be nice if they pick up some of my stuff, but I'm not out here pander bearing to every single thing. Like I really am selective with the panels that I'm on now. Like I'm not just online to be online. I have stuff to do. I got to go outside and touch grass. I got to go connect with people. But check this out. Over the holidays, Delta, now for those of you in the crypto space, you should know what Delta is. They've been around for a long time. Reached out to me about a sponsorship because they went through my content. Obviously not the Guns and Butter show content, probably. I don't know. Whoever's in their community outreach, though, dude's really cool. So I'm assuming he watched my crypto portfolio updates channel because they originated in the crypto space. And not only did they compliment me on my content, they were like, we'd be a real good fit. We want to sponsor you. So I am actually officially sponsored by Delta. Oh, thank you, Not Lost. Damn, Not Lost said something nice to me. That's crazy. Now I'm seeing Not Lost. You can't be coming in here saying nice stuff. I'm used to you being on my neck. You can't be doing that. It throws my whole shit off, man. Thank you. But they really like the content and they wanted me to, you know, get involved. They wanted to get involved with your boy, which is cool considering it's you know, I make very niche content for a niche group of people. And even though the tribe isn't fully here yet, because we still got some room for expansion over here in the Wolf Pack, people are starting to notice. And like, honestly, I would rather have this type of interaction with a company that I'm actually willing to, like, I've used Delta stuff before, like when I first started. It's like I was familiar with the company to begin with. It's a good product. And I get to use the pro features. They're like, you know, we want you to try out the product, give your thoughts about it, you know, talk about it, which isn't hard for me because I actually had a whole episode that's coming out on crypto portfolio updates that's gonna go in depth on some of the tools that I regularly use while I'm managing my portfolio, which is awesome. So like this slid right in. They didn't ask me to do anything that I wasn't going to be doing, but I am sponsored by Delta, which is really cool. Like it's really dope for the platform. But the thing that really kind of took me aback, because like I originally thought the email was a scam, and you know, we went back and forth, had a little bit of conversation, and to have somebody like go look at your content about something, because like I'm very passionate about the cryptocurrency space. Like I love the space. I like the ethos of it. I like the excitement of the space. Like it's all of it's good in my opinion. I like it. I like the Wild West nature. I like the wins. I like the losses. Like anything that you can get into it in your second or third year in, you lose $20,000 and you just wipe the dust off and you're like, yeah, I want to get back in that. Like you either like it or you don't at that point. What's going on, Drake Miller? How are we doing, brother? But yeah, like, so this is dope. And so like they actually do investments as well now, so you can track your crypto and your portfolio holdings in the traditional finance space. So we're going to be using it on both of the shows moving forward. I'm going to say all of my, if you're on any of my other socials, if you're tapped in with me over on Instagram, you're on my Facebook, Twitter, any portfolio updates that are going out on there is going to exclusively be Delta. And then as we're doing the show, we're probably going to keep it in CoinGecko for now. We'll see what's going on riding out through the year, but we'll be going through and doing a deep dive into this overall, the stuff that they cover, because this has some really cool analytic stuff in it. It's got some like insider information that gives you live updates throughout the day of things that are going on. Like this actually has become a super useful app, super useful for both the traditional finance industry and the crypto industry. And, they reached out and, was feeling the boy and gave me a shot. And we're going to, obviously, the terms that we agree to will be over delivered upon a great deal. So shout out to Delta, and we're definitely going to be swinging for the fences on any opportunities that we're given that align with the brand. And this is very on brand for me. So super interesting update. And there we go. So back to the fitness though. Back to the fitness. It is super important that you take an active role in that, because those habits, your standard of life, your quality of life, everything. Like if you don't take care of your body, your mind's going to be bad. If you don't take care of your body, your health obviously is going to be bad. You're just not going to feel good. Like we're as sedentary as, especially, and I'm speaking specifically to Americans on this one, as sedentary as we are. Oh, thanks, Natasha. Heck yeah. Hashtag secure the bag. Hashtag no bag left behind. Hashtag all bags build up to the next bigger bag. But everything rolls back to your body. Everything does. Oh, hold up. Let me drop the link just in case anybody want to come up and rock out with me, because I will be on my Anton Daniels and I'll rock this whole thing out myself, because we got enough topics and I'm getting done early enough. I can definitely talk for 2.5 hours every day. Actually, I couldn't do it every day. I'd lose my voice, but I could do it most days. Hold on a second. Let me do this. What I can't do is talk and type. Boom. Hold up. And we're going to pull Not Lost comment up there, because that'll tie in too. Not Lost is my co-host from the chat tonight. For those of you who didn't know, y'all treat Not Lost with respect. How does Not Lost? Why don't you have a wrench? What the hell? Bam. Oh, come on. Boom. Okay. So let me pin. It's going to be pinned to the top of the chat if you guys want to come up and rock out with me for a little bit. But so check this out. So Not Lost tapped right in. See, we agree on this for sure. Mind, body, and soul. Human beings for hundreds of thousands of years ran around hunting all day. It's not normal for us to be this sedentary. Exactly. And people just don't move. They don't move. Like, it is wild. But you know what's interesting? So everybody at my job is in decent to good shape. Like we have like a culture where people are just fit. Like we got like 3 of the dudes who like are very active. Like I started learning how to rock climb. Like one of the guys is like an avid rock climber. The other one rock climbs as well. And then, you know, like everyone's just active. Like it's an active culture. Obviously we have an active job, but sometimes these like even in an active job, which is weird to me, like you'll see like electricians that are not in good shape. You'll see like even in our job, it's like you'll see low volt techs, home automation technicians not in good shape. But like our company, literally, we have just such a culture where everybody just does stuff. Like we're all constantly moving. Everybody's in at minimum a decent shape, like which decent shape being like you're in better shape than most men in America. And I think it's awesome. Like we just have a culture of health, but it's like those habits. Like I can't speak to, because like I think it might be generational. Like I'm about to be 40. My generation both went outside and didn't go outside. Like I remember being outside all day. And then I remember once good computer games came out, we would be sitting online, playing Ultima Online, playing Counter-Strike, big ass matches that took 8 hours. And we would just be inside all day sitting down. And it was like, my homie's mom used to be like, yo, y'all got to go outside. And like what we would do is we would stay inside playing computer games all day till it got dark. And then we would go out and go skateboard, because like you couldn't skateboard places during the day. So like we would borderline stay up all night and then like take naps and get not lost. You know about Ultima Online, bro? That you remember the color wars, bro? Come on, let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about it. Yes, sir. Oh yeah, we did. We played Ultima Online. We played the heck out of, we played World of Warcraft. We beta tested that all together. Like we all played that. We used to play Tribes. We learned how to play Tribes, which was like first person shooter. We learned how to play Tribes from my buddy's older sister dated this dude that was a professional Tribes player. And so like we learned how to play Tribes. We went through that phase. We also beta tested and played Shadowbane until they shut it down. So, oh yeah, dude. Like I love games. Like oh yeah. We spent a lot of time staring at computer screens. Like that, but it's weird though, because we were so ingrained in being outside that even though we would do that all day, we just went outside at night. And so like we'd be like, cool, we're gonna go skate, we're gonna go hit these skate spots up. And we would go skate for like 10 hours after being online for 8 hours. And we'd be like, cool, let's go hit these skate spots. And it wasn't like we didn't have the addiction to computers, and being online for us was totally different than what kids grow up with now, because they have everything now. And we had built a habit of being active. So like my baseline for me is a very active lifestyle. Like I've always been very active. Like all summer, you'd get up as soon as you got whatever chores you had to get done at the house all summer. We would go like, I mean, my first summer job was at a country club, and we would bike like, I think it was 5 or 6 miles to go work at this country club, and then bike 5 or 6 miles back. Or if one of our parents was on the way home, they would pick us up. But we were always doing stuff. Like we used to skateboard like 5 or 6 miles to go skate all day. And then we would go to the YMCA and go swim throughout the day also, and then go skate, and then skate 5 or 6 miles back. Like that was just what we did. Like we were in a suburban area at that point in time. Like we'd moved out of the hood, and is out where my grandmother lived. And, you know, like that's just what everybody did. We were just like, cool, like we're going to go miles away to go have fun, and then we'll come miles back. And that was just normal. So, but kids now don't do that. They're just like, oh, like I need to get a ride somewhere, or I'm not going, or they don't move. Like they just immediately have games. Like we had Nintendo, like it wasn't like, which was fun. It was great at the time. We thought it was awesome, but I mean, like it wasn't like something that you just wanted to be sitting on all day. Like it wasn't that fun. Like it was fun for a few hours, and then you wanted to go do something else. But yeah, no, like it's important to build those habits. And like once you get into the groove of things, it's like it's the same with vitamins. Like I'm big on vitamins. Like I don't have a pill cabinet for antipsychotics. I do have a pill cabinet for vitamins. I have a ton of vitamins. I'm really big into supplementation. There's not enough nutrients in the food. Like I know that there's not enough nutrients in the food. So like it's not a reliable source of nutrients. You got to flood yourself with it so that you got what you need when you need it. Simple. But yeah, like, I mean, and then you look at the inverse of that though. Like when you have bad habits, it just compounds and compounds and compounds. And like now getting to a point to where you are used to a active and healthy lifestyle is going to come with potential complications. Like now your joints aren't built for moving. Like I remember when I had a really bad injury. The one bad injury, well, I've had 2 bad injuries, 3 bad injuries actually, now that I think about it, since I've been breakdancing. But the worst one for me, ooh, that's another good one, not lost. So I have done the IV drip. The one time I went, I just got fluids, but I am planning on, for 2024, I'm incorporating that into my health regimen. I'm going to be doing it at least once a quarter. I will be scheduling that because like there's a couple of things that they have that I was looking at when I was there, and there's one walking distance from my house now. So because they put one in because we got a bunch of bougie people that live adjacent to downtown, and so we got an IV nutrition place. That is not a oh, no joke. So the bite. Okay, I might try that one first because yeah, I really enjoyed it. Like it was cool. It was a cool spa clinic experience. But I went with a buddy of mine who was really badly dehydrated, and I was like, dude, like we should probably go get you some fluids. But I'm definitely looking at incorporating that in. That's probably going to be like my next thing because I did have a good experience doing it. Also, I have a really good vascular system, so like my veins are real easy to hit. So like, fortunately, I don't do drugs because if I did, bro, I would be strung out because it's real easy to find them veins. But yeah, like, you know, people don't. You gotta stack it up. So like now when you look at it, if you stack those bad habits now while you're trying to get into shape. So I've had 3 the injuries that you have when you're trying to get into shape. So like my body heals itself relatively well. Actually, I'd say better than relatively well. But one of the most incapacitating injuries that I did sprain my foot. I sprained it across the entire top because I worked it to failure, and then it just sprained itself across all the bones on the top of your foot. It was excruciatingly painful. That one I couldn't do anything. I ended up in a boot for like a month, and it was terrible. But the other one, I tore my meniscus, and like when I say I tore it, like it snapped. And I'm not a big advocate of going to the doctor. So when I tore it, it was at practice, and it made this weird sound that I'll never forget. I'm cringing thinking about it right now. And I thought it was going to be okay. and then it was not okay. But like, I just went home and elevated my knee for a month. I got online and I was like, yo, like, let me see how this works. Cause like I could kind of walk. So I was like, okay, so it's not a full tear. They're not gonna have to replace stuff. So I was like, I got online, and just stayed off of it basically for a month. Like I was just like, I did what I had to do, but like outside of that, didn't do anything I didn't have to do. So basically anything besides work. And, you know, didn't get to train, didn't dance, and literally let it heal. And it was probably about 2.5, 3 months that it took before I was like comfortable enough to try to start dancing on it again. But it healed like completely. Like I can do everything that I could do and then some new stuff now. And I 100% attest it to the fact that I am a very active person. Like I keep myself in basically extreme athlete shape at most times. And it's one of those things where like I notice, like I do weigh myself. Like I do look at my body fat percentage. Like over COVID, when my body fat percentage got up to 20%, I was like, oh, no. Like, that's when I knew. I was like, what I'm doing right now is not enough. I'm not eating right. I'm not doing all this stuff. And I, you know, took a year, got myself back into shape. But like, I had a foundation of a body that had moved. Like, if you don't move now, your joints are weak. Your bones are weak. Oh, yeah. Heck yeah. I mean, I'm taking part in the gentrification. What are you talking about? Like, heck yeah, it is. Like, we want the riffraff up out of here. We want to run the numbers up. We're going to get our money. We're going to live in nice places and going to be safe. Like, that's what I want. I'm not trying to live in Chirac. I'm not trying to live in gentrify it, bro. Gentrify it. I'm getting ready to try and get something else. I'm trying to get another piece of property down here. I want to double gentrify it. But you got soft bones, you got weak joints. Now when you're trying to get into shape, your body, to get into a space where it's not sedentary, like you literally have to like break it down and like have it rebuild and hope you don't injure yourself. Like it's a weird thing, but like those habits compound, like they do, like a lot. And that's the reason, you know, when it comes to habits, they make or break you. Now that's the health one. Now, I think secondly, because I want to, well, I might only be able to do 2 of these tonight if we're finishing at 10. So we're going to do the money, because I want to talk about the money. Because financial habits are 100%, 110%, like 110, 20%. Like what you do financially compounds. And they can compound in one of 2 directions. You can compound to 0 to the point to where you go negative, which is what a lot of people are doing right now. They're, you know, it's the same as with health. You either stay ready so you don't have to get ready, like you can take more financial hits if you have a solid financial base, right? Or if you can't, then you are in a situation where you can injure yourself financially. Like you just stuck where you at, and it's going to be a problem. So, hold a second. What we got here? Oh, shout. So when you when we're looking at financial habits, like this is something that I'm a big advocate of. Like obviously I've said it multiple times, most of the people who budget are better at budgeting than me. I'm like, I just don't do it. Like I innately, the way that my brain works, like I have a realm. It's like it's a floating budget. It's just not consistent. But like people who are good at that, it's a solid habit. One of the things that, like, learning how to pay yourself first when you get paid, having a set amount. I guess that does kind of count as a budget, but it's just like, I don't actually count what's left. I just spend money. And I'm not going to lie about that. Like, I'm like, do I need this? And like, if I start seeing my credit, like the money that I've got floating out there, get to too much of a level, I'll just stop buying stuff for a while. Like, and I'm not joking. I'm just like, cool. We're cutting back to the quick. We're not purchasing anything we don't need. Oh, what's going on, Joker? Stubborn belly fat. So what I normally do is so I'm a big advocate of supplementation. I know, like, me and Not Lost just talked about that, but normally if you have fat around the abdomen, you've got to do cardio. You have to do cardio. And then honestly, calisthenics, like, you got to do your sit-ups, you got to do planks, like a lot of the calisthenic workouts. Like, I like doing primals, but that's more a full body workout. And so, like, I figure out things that are like motion based. But the other trick is, and I'll normally do a cycle of this even though I don't need to, like, my abdomen is fine, but I do it every year anyway, just because I've always done it. Again, back to habits. Normally about, I'd say, February, I'll start, like February into March, I'll run a cycle of CLA, which is conjugated linoleic acid. And it's a fatty acid that specifically targets fat cells around your abdomen, and it like helps them go away. The other thing is, if you've got belly fat and you're having problems losing it, the other thing that you should probably start looking into is digestive enzymes, specifically the ones for men. You kind of got it. And so, like, I don't have like a solid recommendation because, like, I shift these around a lot, but because, like, I've tried a few different ones and I've had ones, and I have noticed that, like, some work better than others. But another issue you could be facing is that, like, you have some gullet issues and you're actually bloated. Like, what's going on, T? Can you cam up and give me a peace sign in the back real quick? But, like, that's those two things, like, literally, like, target that. But, like, you have to do stuff. Like, you have to be active. Also, if you're targeting abdomen, like getting in shape, your food habits, which I understand is hard for a lot of people. I do understand and respect that. Me personally, and this goes back to Not Lost talking about psychotic and capitalist. I am very, very psychotic when it comes to consistently doing things. Like, I don't like variety. So I'll eat the same thing every day and not care. And I've done it. Like, when I worked in mental health, I ate the exact same thing for lunch every day for 6 years. Didn't care. Like, I didn't even think about it. I was like, it's one less thing to think about. I eat the exact same thing every day. And my lunch that I take with me now, literally nutrient based. I base it around, like, what I need to get into my body. And I pretty much, I'll switch out, like, the meat part of the protein sometimes, and I'll change out the nuts, because, like, I usually do Brazil nuts, and then sometimes I'll switch it over to pistachios because I really like those too. But everything that I eat is portioned, and, like, it's the same thing every day. And, like, outside of that, like, I have like some petty cash money that I keep on a card. What's going on, Feminine Melon in the University? How we doing, Jada? Jada is in the building. And I literally just eat that, basically some form of the exact same thing for lunch every day. And then over the weekends, like, I'll go and, like, try new restaurants and stuff like that. But my work week is where I dial in and really try to methodically control that. Because if you control the majority of the week, what you do the last 2 days don't really matter that much. But, like, I do digestive enzymes, I do pre and probiotics. Like, I'm really big on gut health, like, real big on it. And, like, that's part of the okay, so Joker, you need to make sure you're eating like fatty foods, not like processed fat, but like healthy fats, like MCT oils. And I would look at the digestive enzymes. Like, that's honestly what it sounds like to me. Is like, if you're doing a manual labor job and, like, somehow you still got a gut, like, that sounds like a digestive issue. to me. That, or it's what you're eating every day. That could also be it too. Like, I mean, it just depends on what the two meals are at that point. And then, hold up. Oh, look at Jada coming in the building. She's been gone for so long, and then Jada comes back. She's the what is it? The prodigal son, I think is what they call that. The prodigal daughter. She just be gone, and then she show back up. Hey, I like the new thumbnail though. That's dope. High school. Okay, T said, since I'm a high school football coach for 26 years, here's something some don't know. After walking 45 minutes, then the body kicks in, burning fat. Ooh, nice. I didn't know. I didn't know that either. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like my habits are very consistent. Like it's real consistent. Like that's one of the things that I'm like really like once I set a habit, it's not hard for me. So like I was saying, like when we break down the finances, like I know well, Jada, I mean you've been I mean I know you've been gone, but like you look, it's not that's ridiculous. But like you know I'm back out in these streets, right? like you've been gone a while. Like I'm single again. Like you've missed out on the prime opportunities to flirt with me, just so you know. Like you've been like the whole premise of not hitting on somebody, you gotta like check back in sometimes to see if the situation's changed. Oh god. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. But yeah. So it's like when it comes down to the finance, the bag talk, we talk about paying yourself first, like something as simple as that. And it's like people are like, oh, it's like so hard, but they'll do other stuff. Like you'll see people be like, I don't have money, but they got Jordans. I don't have money, but they're always eating out. Like you see them on the gram. Oh, look at these meals, foodie date. And it's just a decision. It's like you're choosing not to oh my goodness. You know, it's people make decisions and like you have to prioritize. So of course, if you're in a situation where like you literally run your account down to zero to pay for the basic necessities, which is your food, transportation, fuel, then you got to work that out. Like you got to increase the income, or you got to figure out your but people got to you got to increase your income. And if you're not in a situation where you're increasing your income, then you've got to adjust your lifestyle. And like, I'm not, because lifestyle adjustment for me is literally, I go, I've been spending too much money. I got to not buy stuff. Like, I'm just not going to go buy anything that I don't need. Like, I'm real quick to cut to the quick until the situation relieves itself. Like, I'm just like, cool. We're just eating food. We're just doing what we need to do. Okay, cool. No large purchases. Fine. Like, it doesn't seem like people are willing to do that. And so those habits stack up, and then, you get down to zero, then you lean into your credit card. So now you're going negative, you're stacking that. Now you got credit card debt and $0. And next thing you know, you're in a real bad space financially. Talking about being mad about capitalism and the man and what everybody else has got. And it's like, well, you're trying to keep up with the Joneses and you actually aren't keeping up. Like, you can't keep up. It's what it is. You just can't keep up. On the reverse side of that, like if you do implement those things, now it's not overnight. Well, you don't have to have a credit card to have great credit. I mean, the credit card is a metric of keeping revolving debt and showing that you can pay it off. But it also, I mean, if you buy a house, you buy cars, you have personal loans, those things are actually probably better for having credit. I mean, I have great credit too. I have credit cards. But I use them different than most people. I have one credit card that I put all the expenses on, everything that I can. And then the other cards, I leverage those credit lines to buy more assets because they give me, because I have great credit, they give me a lot of really good offers so that I can just buy more assets. It's one of the ways that I outpace most people, even though I make less money than them, because I utilize all the tools. I'm just like, cool, I've got a budget for this. I'm front running money. Like, this isn't, it's, I mean, finance, there's so many tools, there's so many tactics, there's so much information out there. But the issue, going back to what I said about people always knowing stuff, they don't implement things. And you can tell by the results. Like if I'm talking to somebody and I'm like, yeah, you can monetize your credit, you can do this, this, and this. And they're like, oh yeah, I know that. And I'm like, okay, what do you have? Like, what's your wealth expansion plan look like? What? I'm like, okay, so you're not doing it. All right. So you using your credit to go on vacation? That's cool. I pay for my vacations cash if I'm going to have a vacation. I just don't have vacations though. And now I get to pay less on vacation because I got my card and I get to put stuff on the card. And then with the spending that I have, I normally will be able to get to fly myself out to somewhere at least once a year. I got to figure out where we're going in 2024 because I don't think I'm going to go anywhere for New Year's now because I procrastinated too much because I've been working too much. But I think shortly after New Year's, I think I might plan me a trip somewhere. We'll see. But it also depends on the relational status, because like good dudes don't be out here single forever unless they want to be. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to. I'd prefer to not be obligated to go out with my friends, to be honest. Bro, going deep, man. Detroit is not safe, Jada. No. Mm-mm. Nope. I'd rather go to the Dominican. I'd rather go to Brazil. I would rather go to like I'm looking at going places where I can leave if I need to dip, and I ain't trying to dip to Detroit. Also, yeah, he said Detroit and Canada are too cold. Yeah, that's the other thing. I could go to Detroit during the summer because it's not as hot up there as it is here. But like, I ain't trying to go to Detroit during the winter because T is right. Y'all be getting weather up there. Like, I drove up to Michigan. I dated this chick for a short stint that lived in St. Cloud, or no, it wasn't Michigan. It was St. Cloud, Minnesota. And I drove all the way up there to go see her. And it was cold as hell. And I hated it. It was terrible. Jada, that's because you know how to navigate a place. I was up there for a dance competition one time. I have been to Detroit before, by the way. We went up there for a b-boy competition, and we didn't even stop to eat. Like, we sat and watched Denny's through the window 20 minutes and decided that we was not eating there. And this was like when we all lived, like we was all still living in the hood in Kansas City. And we said, nah, bro, like if that, like Kansas City's not safe. Detroit's a different type of not safe, bro. Like, it's not safe. Like, that's why y'all got so many good rappers, bro, because you it's not safe. Y'all got stories. Everybody in Detroit's got stories. But yeah, I mean, so when we're talking about back to the habits, We're talking about how the habits make or break you. In regards to finance, it's pivotal. I mean, if your finances are bad, basically it can. I have wanted to go to Vancouver. I want to go to wherever the hell Avril Lavigne's from. Honestly, like that's where I'm trying to go. That's what I'm trying to do. That. Oh, hold up 1 second. Hold up one. Okay, and we back. What's going on? Michael's in the building, aka the Bumpkinator. That dude's been working hard. I ain't seen him in a minute. That means he's getting them ducats. Dude, I have wanted to go to Vancouver. That actually, you guys got you guys have a really, really, really good breakdance crew that's up there in Vancouver specifically. And yeah, I want to go check that out. But it's gonna have to be during the summer. I'm not coming up there when it's cold, bro. Like I can't. And I like the cold. I don't like that type of cold. I don't like cold where your bones hurt. I like it where it's like, oh, it's chilly outside. I'm making myself stronger. But I don't like when you just go outside and like start dying. Like I'm not trying to be out there in that. Oh, for real? Hey, bro. Okay, so I gotta go to Ontario. She said all you can do is drive past it. I'm like, bro, that's hey, there's some chicks out there though. You could drive past and look. Oh, that's dope, dude. EA Sports. I didn't realize that EA Sports was a Canadian company. Bruh, there ain't no not when it's bone cold. Y'all don't be out in the bone cold. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. But yeah, you know, we'd be out here talking about it. But that's what it is. It's like when everything comes back to habits. That's the reason. One of the things, and shout out to the homie Sporties. Haven't talked to him out in these YouTube streets in a minute, neither. But that man is always busy, always grinding. One of the best car detailers on the planet. Solid dude. But one of the things he always told me was, wherever you find yourself, whatever circumstances you're in, you earn that shit. Because you made the decisions that led up to that, unless you're a child. Children are the only ones. And like, there's just no excuses. Like, it's all habit based. And so when we're talking about money, when we're talking about health, like I'm like, it's for me to get to the point to where I'm like, all right, I can see that. I'm like, bro, you're gonna have to break down every decision that you made, because in my mind, this shit is your fault. Like, it's your fault. Like, you did this to yourself. And while it's upsetting, probably not the best of circumstances, you probably don't like it, you also did it. Like, it's just what it is. Like, you did this, you made these decisions. And that was one of the things, like early on when I got out here in these YouTube streets, man, you know, rocking out with some of the OGs. That was one of the things that shit stuck with me when he told me that. I was like, you know what? You're right. Like, you're right. Like, you can't argue with that. It's like everything that you did to get up to the point that you're at, you did those things. You earned it. You earned that shit. That's the result that you got because of what you did. Like, You input it into the universe, and the universe spit out here's your result. And people just don't want to hold themselves accountable. And we've got to get to a point to where we are accountable for our actions. We are accountable for the things that we're saying and doing, but mostly that we're doing, and understanding that, like, yo, you can be out here screaming YOLO all you want. Be like, I'm gonna run the bag up. I'm gonna run this card up. Be like, well, you got to pay that back eventually. Like, it's coming. Ooh, T. Hey, bro, I'd be down to go to Australia too. You can't immigrate there though. They make you work on a tomato farm, bro. I ain't trying to participate in slavery to get into a country. Also, they're kind of like blatantly racist on the news still. So, but I do want to go there and see the chicks in the accent. I want to go visit. I ain't trying to go stay. Oh, thank you, Mr. Youngblood City. I appreciate it. We gotta. Because we can't be out here living YOLO no more. Like, at a certain point, you got to acknowledge that you in a game, and we know what the game is. The Wolfpack knows what the game is. We talking about it. We bringing it to the forefront. Most conversations that I have are from that basis, because it's like you've got to adapt or die. Like, none of us are in a position where we can afford to take the foot off the gas and just coast it out until we're gone. Like, we haven't earned the rest that Charlie Munger has earned. That man was on the gas pedal until it was over. And we got to do that too. Like, we can't have if you poor, you can't afford to have a dumb financial opinion. You can't afford to be wrong. You really can't. You really can't. Like, it's just not, the odds are not in your favor in that, because you still in the game. Like, we are still playing. Like, if you're wrong, there's a consequence. No, because lions don't catch what they kill most of the time. Lions are horrible hunters, actually. That was, man, you're going to have to... CT, you wasn't around when I did the breakdown on why we are the wolf pack. And why we're not lions. Being a lion means that you don't catch your prey most of the time. And hold on, actually, let me pull this up for you. The lion's hunting success rate. Let's talk about it. Lions are apex predators with a 15 to 25% success rate in hunting. A single lion's success rate is 17 to 19% during daylight, but increases to 30% when hunting in groups. Yeah. Yeah, 100%. 100%. But they don't catch shit. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Like, if you are only hitting 15 to 30% of the time, or 17 to 19% of the time, you suck. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Like, you're not good at what you do. I don't even understand why we call lions apex predators. They just look scary. They're not good at catching shit. Like, I'm just saying, like, they're not good at it. They're not good at it. But on the other hand, wild dogs, and we go under the wolf pack, but we navigate like wild dogs over here, and they're all in the canine family. Wild dogs have a success rate of 80%, my guy. 80%. 80%. Now, just think about this. You nail your financial goals 80% of the time, my guy. 80% of the tasks that you set out to complete, you do it. 80%. Hey, bruh. I'm just saying. Those are better odds. That's all I'm saying. And it's important that we keep that wild dog mentality, because like we gotta, even when we not hungry, we gotta be hungry, bro, because we don't know when the food shortage is gonna happen. We don't know when it's gonna dry up. We don't know when it's gonna dry up. And the thing that I find funny is, like, I was over on Hink's channel last night. So I've been kind of stepping out into these YouTube streets a couple of extra days, because all I do is work, and if I don't expend all my brain energy and I just use physical energy, then I get the brain zoomies when I try to go to bed, and that's not fun. So what I do is I'll get on a panel for a little bit, and Hink was talking about money last night, so I tapped in for that, because I was going to do some recording, and I saw that Hink was going to talk about some money, so I got over there to talk about some money. And you know, there was a dude in the chat. We talking about crypto, specifically Bitcoin. Like I like, normally when I talk to people who aren't into the space, like I'm into the space, I only will talk about like Bitcoin and Ethereum. I keep it simple. I keep it on the boring stuff. And this knucklehead in the chat wanted to bring up, oh, well, FTX ruined people's lives. And I was like, yeah, the people who are trying to get rich tomorrow. Like, what up, Bumpkin?
What's up, bro? I figured I'd jump on here before I had to go to sleep for work. How's it going, bro?
Hey, man, you know, not bad. We over here talking about habits, and you know, I feel you on the get to work part, because I'm about to do the same thing. Like I was like, bro, like we gonna be shutting down at 10. Like, I'm not even joking. Like we've been outside of Thanksgiving. We've been running 6 days a week, and we are a 410 shop.
Right. I can't talk about my work, but I feel you.
Bro, you've been ball tapping people, haven't you?
Listen, I can't talk about my line of work. You know why?
He said, lay on the ground, motherfucker.
I will put your face against that fucking wall.
Bro, you started writing raps for your rap career, bro. You gotta be the white Rick Ross, bro. You gonna have all the stories.
I swear to God, Ray, me and you're gonna box. You got to box the fat guy. I swear to God.
I'm just saying, if I was doing what you were doing, I would be writing down all the stories I overheard, and I would make a rap career out of it. That's what I would do.
That's fair. I can't go into detail though, Ray, because you know why. Because there's people out here. I've said some shit in the past.
Yep.
But anywho, we're
How
talking about habits. I've been good, man. I've been good. You know, I'm getting a lot more exercise in, which I'm enjoying a lot.
Nice. So you gonna get on as gonna be like Jacked Bumpkin?
That's the goal eventually, to see Jack Bumpkin. I'm
gonna start calling you Jumpkin.
Jumpkin, yeah, I'll jump your ass. I walk
by himself
at work. I believe Wednesday I walked 22,000 steps.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, you getting the workout in, bro.
So I think that's equivalent, like what, 4 miles, 5 miles?
Yeah, I think something like that. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let's do the math. How far is 22? Oh yeah, that's a common search too. Hold on. A woman with an average stride. A man with an average stride. Oh, so 25,000 steps. No, that's almost 12 miles, Pumpkin.
Are you serious?
Well, 25,000 steps is just under 12 miles. So yeah.
Oh, no wonder I was so sore.
Yeah, dude. You over here walking to the well to get water in the Serengeti, basically.
When we talking about pilgrimages, man, I do that out of a day's work.
Facts.
But
yeah.
But yeah, man.
Are you ready for? Because this is a primer, because we got to start getting ready for the New Year's, because everybody does resolutions. I don't do resolutions anymore. I do plans and act on them. But you know, I understand the sentiment. It's a good reset coming into the new year.
Yeah. I got a few goals in mind. I don't like to do the whole New Year's resolution thing either. I think it's corny, but I got some goals I've set out.
Nice.
By this time next year, I want to be 250.
How
I
much?
wanna-
How many pounds you losing? How many pounds is that?
That is, I'm a big boy, dude. So I started last year, or about 2 years ago. I started at 450.
What?
Yeah, I started at 450. I'm now
What?
down. I'm now down to about 320.
Dang. Well, you're taller than me, aren't you?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Okay, never mind.
I'm like 6', 6'1".
You're 6 what?
6', 6'1", around that range.
No, you're not taller than me. I'm taller than you. That's
How
crazy.
tall are you?
I'm 6'2".
You're 6'2"?
Yeah,
You look hella short.
it's the chair.
YouTube,
It's the chair, bro.
dude, YouTube does not do you justice. God damn,
No,
you're taller than me,
like
too.
I was about to say, I was thinking you were like 6'7" or some shit. I'm like,
No, I'm not 6'7", bro.
okay. Well, that's fucking crazy because like I would never have pegged that, but like I'm really bad at guessing weight. I'm just like, oh, okay.
I carry my weight really well.
That's right. Be like, you better tell him. Be like, you don't want none of these problems.
But no, the goal is 250. Well, the real goal is 200, and then putting on like 30 pounds of muscle mass. But that's late
Bro,
goals.
you know how hard it was for me to get to 200? It's hard, Bumpkin.
To get to that point, did you have to build up to that?
No, I wrestled in high school at
Okay.
145.
Oh my God, you were a string bean.
Yeah. Well, so it wasn't that. I had to cut down to 140 for a match at the same height that I am now. And it like fucked my metabolism up like real bad. Because obviously with the not eating and such. And yeah, like it's so putting on weight, 'cause like I learned how to not eat like a lot. So putting the weight back on, like after I got out of like when I graduated, like I said, like I'm 200 now with 8% body fat, and I was the exact same height on the same frame, cut down to 140.
Oh my God.
And I couldn't imagine, like I don't understand how on God's green earth I wrestled at 145 for those 2 years.
Were you
like,
good?
Pretty decent. I sublocated my shoulder.
Well, I feel that. I was really good. I was a defensive line, and I used to average about 2 to 3 sacks a game before I blew out my knee.
Dude. So like I did wrestling and soccer. I was really good at soccer. Wrestling, I was decent at.
I should have wrestled because I feel like with that sort of regiment with working out, I would have been a fucking monster. But I never did.
Oh yeah, dude. We had every because we had a couple of linebackers because it's off season for football too, obviously. We had for like our heavyweights, we would normally get like 1 or 2 guys from the linebackers, and they were always like the most beastly dudes because like they could just tear people off the line because like you're basically wrestling with pushing people, and they're just like, I can get you out of my way now, like I know how to do this. So absolutely, like I think wrestling it teaches discipline.
Oh, dude, wrestling instantly, man. When I have kids, I already know where my faults are. So if I have a little boy, right? Instantly Brazilian jiu-jitsu. He's getting put in that shit instantly. Wrestling if he wants to, if he wants to do contact sports, that's fine. But Brazilian jiu-jitsu, absolutely.
You gonna have him string beaning all the other kids, bro?
I am. Dude, I got that lumberjack genes, bro. Like my shoulder width is fucking huge.
That is wild. But yeah, no, I enjoyed it. It was just like I used to do that. Like I used to skate. I used to skateboard. Like I did that for a long time. Like I did that. I skateboarded almost as long as I played soccer. Like I played soccer since I was 6. I started skateboarding at like I think 10.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I
I
was
saw you
really
break
good at
dance too a little bit.
what?
I saw you break dance too a little bit.
Oh yeah, yeah. But I started wrestling in high school, so it was like getting on varsity was a bitch. And then like my varsity match was the match that I sublocated my shoulder. I was just like, this is great. What's going on, Reese? It just, yeah, but I mean, I enjoyed it. It's a good skill set. Like, you should definitely know how to grapple with somebody. So, like, when people are like, "Oh, I'll just tackle you," I'm like, "You're gonna catch a knee in the face, and then I'm gonna hurt you." Like,
Well, the majority of like in a situation where, I think about it like this, right? In a situation where you're going to be in a street fight, right?
right?
The wrestler or the person that knows Brazilian jiu-jitsu is gonna mop up any street fight
Yeah.
without even a fucking.
Well,
like as
I
soon as
mean,
you-
it depends because you never know, man. You catch a hot one, bro. You like that's the thing with fighting. Like you can be trained to fight, but like if somebody's trying to end your life, like every martial arts style has rules. So basically,
Okay.
what you're doing is you're learning rules, right? Because it's basically illegal to just teach you to end people. Like they don't want those martial arts done. Like you can't.
Brazilian
Sure.
jiu-jitsu, BJJ is different in that regard, though, right? Because there's really that gray area between what they teach you, right? Because it's all submission,
Yeah, yeah.
and there's a very thin
Well, yeah,
line.
because you wouldn't have to let go, but the issue is getting into position. Like if you're coming in to grapple somebody, right? You're going to be in an advantage once you get them to the ground. Everything up until that point, like if you come in and you're like, "Hey, I'm trying to come in and grab you," and like they catch you with the 2-piece and a biscuit, like you don't get to grapple now. Like you never made it to that part. That's what I'm saying.
Boxing then. Maybe throw in some boxing then.
Yeah, you have to be able to defend against strikes, or you just get a real strong blockhead where you can just eat some hot ones. Just be like, I'm gonna eat these till I get you and it's over.
True.
Like I know people like that's how they got down. They were like, cool, I'm gonna get punched about 8 times in the head. I don't care. As soon as I get a hold of you, it's over.
Yeah, those types of people are freak of natures, man. They're just like
those are the scariest people. I'm like, bro, if you get hit 3 times in a row in the head and you just get mad, I'm like, bro, call that fight. Like you might want to back out. Dude. He gonna end you.
My brother was one of those, bro. Someone hit him over the head with a fucking cast iron frying pan like 8 times. And
oh hell no.
It didn't even really faze him, to be honest with you.
Oh no! See, is your brother in prison for squeezing someone until they no longer live?
No, he got lucky. He never got caught.
Jesus, that is wild. Like, no, I'm not. No, I ain't.
Listen, I love my brother to death, right? But he got more of the barbarian genes than I did, right?
Bruh, I'm a big that's boy. Scary as hell, bro.
Like
if I hit somebody with a pan once and they were just like, I'm upset, I'd be like, bro, me too. Like, let's talk about
cast iron frying pan like 8 times, bro.
Yeah, nah, hell no. Like,
if I'm hitting someone in the head once with a cast iron frying pan, they just look at me. I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna be
right. Be like, what's going on? Be like, so my brother's Solomon Grundy. I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Oh, dude's scary. His wrists, bro, are like double the size of mine. It's like, dude, it's just barbarian genes, man. I swear, his wrists are like the size of his fists.
Oh, so it's just like a cylinder.
It just built up cartilage. Yeah.
Yeah. So there was this dude that I worked with that was kind of like that. He was one of the regulars at the bar. His name was Donnie. Shout out Donnie. And he was just good old concrete dude. But like I always noticed, like when I started bartending, I was like, Donnie, you make like a fist, and he would make a fist, and he didn't have knuckles anymore.
Yeah,
at all. Like it was just like a slight. It looked like a mallet head.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? And it was just like, I punched a bunch of people and things. I was like, dude, like with that? Like, that sounds terrible.
Mm-hmm. No more knuckles, built up cartilage, bro. Barbarians.
Yeah.
The people I will never fight are concrete workers or concrete layers. I will never fight loggers, and I will never fucking fight on the top of the list is those boys that work in the oil fields. I will never fight those fuckers. They are terrible.
Yeah.
They will tear your head off, bro.
I've got a buddy, one of my best friends growing up. Like we used to get into when in high school, we used to get into the thick of it together all the time. He's definitely a ride or die. Still friends to this day. He went and did a stint down in the oil field and just became crazier. And I was like, bro.
All they do is work, drink, and do crazy shit.
Yeah.
That's all they do.
And fight each other.
And fight each other for fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like the new Spartans, dude. It's fucking insane.
So what you're saying is we should all go work down on the oil rig for like a year or two.
I'm telling you what, we would be shit brick houses within like 2 years. If you don't quit, you'd be a shit brick house. Absolutely.
Just start forcing people to do it for 2 years then. Just,
but
like if you're a man, you got to go work on the oil rig for 2 years, and if you survive, you can come back to society.
Right, but once you start forcing people to do stuff, you have people saying, "No, my constitutional right."
Bro. If one more person says constitutional rights to me, oh god.
They're basically using that document as toilet paper, guys. I think it's over. I think that fight's over. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's like I'm just waiting to see, man. I was like, we'll see what happens with this election, and I might be booking a one-way flight to somewhere that's not this country.
You know where I'm going to be. You're going to see on the news as you're in like on an island somewhere.
You'll be fighting the drone. Well, so it's funny. Me and Jeremy, I talked to Jeremy for a hot minute today, and he was talking about. I was like, dude. I was like, I don't know, man, because and I told him I was like, look, I'd be down for like we gotta take the country back. I'd be down, except for they got drones, and I'm not about to go into a war scenario where I'm just gonna go outside and just get lit up and set on fire. like I want a fair shot at harming another person. That's all I'm saying. And if I'm not going to get that, I'm not participating.
No. Well, I'll get a fair fight even if I have to, man. I'll block off roads and shit, saying
but what I'm saying is, I don't think it's just going to be a bunch of people that are like, we're telling you what to do. It's going to be like drones. You're going to go outside. They're going to be like, meh. You're like, what the fuck is it?
That's fair. That's
like,
fair. Yeah, you kind of.
That's what I'm not signing up for. I'm like, bro, where are the people at? I want to hit someone with a brick. Like, where's a person?
some fucking Chad somewhere is eating fucking hot Cheetos, killing motherfuckers with a drone from his house.
Facts. Bro, they made all the drone workers remote.
Got that shit up set like a home monitor.
You got like Call of Duty up on one screen and your ass on the other.
I get to play Call of Duty. It's a forever drone strike.
Bro. I'm telling you.
We call this the Obama Annihilator, bro.
Bro. Like, but like, I mean, honestly, as bad as stuff is, like, I'm actually concerned about the upcoming election. Like, this is like the first election. There's been a bunch of first elections with this administration, but this is the first one where I'm like, man, shit, we're going to have to hold our breath after we cast the ballots, bro. Like, this is fucked up.
Dude, it's crazy. You know Trump's up 60%, right? In the polls?
Yeah, I mean, it's either going to be him. I still, my personal favorite's Vivek. I'm done with these old dudes, but, you know, if it's got to be what it's got to be, what we currently have is unacceptable. I'm gonna just put it that way. Like, I would vote for either of my cats over what we currently have.
I think the decision would be a lot more clear, honestly.
Right. Yeah. Like I'm like, bro, we just hook my cats up with a button, right? 2 buttons. Like, what we doing? Left or like hit one. Let's call it. Let's go. Like because like what we've got right now, like this, I don't see how this is working for anybody. So
It's not, man. You know what's
yeah,
crazy about Trump having 60% of the vote? Or
he
60%
hasn't
of the
done
polls
any
right now?
debates or talked for real.
None. And they
I know.
still, these fucking rhinos have still not given him the nomination.
Well, did you see? Like, I mean, honestly, the RNC's falling apart, man.
Yeah.
Like, did you see what the chair lady said about Vivek after he called her out and told her to quit because they keep losing because it's her fault?
What'd she say?
The third debate, she was booing him while he was talking. There's that, and she also openly stated that he's not getting another dime from the RNC, so she believes that the money that people donate to that party is her money. Also,
Oh, what's her name? What was her name? The American Needs Israel lady.
Yeah. Oh, I know what you. The warmonger. She's the Republican Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, they're trying to push that too, and I'm like, like, but like the party in and of itself, it's like when you're looking at that and you're like, okay, so the guy who, Nikki Haley, not lost, got it, booyah, there we go. I couldn't think of her, which isn't her name, isn't Nikki. She's using, because that was the other thing. She did that whole thing about how everybody has to register to be on the internet and there's no freedom of speech because you need to know who everyone is. And her name actually isn't Nikki.
It's not.
She's running her campaign under a pseudonym.
Yep.
But she wants to know your name when you post on Facebook and you have to verify it.
Isn't she she's a Muslim, right? Or something like that?
What? Seriously?
Her name's something like really exotic.
Yeah. No, it was something weird that's hard to pronounce. And because they tried to get Vivek to do the same thing. And he was like, I'm not running under a pseudonym. Like, I'll run under my name.
I don't like Vivek for obvious reasons.
I understand that you don't like him for obvious reasons, but I'm like, if we're talking policy and like what what we're wanting to get done, I don't see a better candidate. Like, I don't think Trump is better than him. I think people will be more accepting for obvious reasons, but I don't think he's better. He's not more of a successful businessman. He's just not. Like, those are facts. Like, if he came over here and built from zero, I could agree that there was some comparables, but after a certain point with finance, you get to just do shit and you get too big to fail, which is where Trump falls in. Do I like him better than current? Yes. Did he do a good job? Absolutely. But are his ideals better? I don't think so. Like, I don't. I think they're going to do the same thing. I think that it would be more efficient with Vivek, but if we can't have that, I'm fine with Trump. Like, it's just what it is. But what we need to do is there needs to be some ageism going on because we got to get these old dudes out of here. That's all I'm saying.
There does need to be some ageism. I will agree with that.
Yeah, like at some point, Peepaw's got to take a seat and just chill. And the Peepaw's not
We've had
chill.
long conversations about this. I am ageist through and through, man.
I mean, my deal is there's just like, I get it. It's just, and we normally wouldn't have this issue. It's just the boomers. There's so fucking many of them. They're like roaches. Like,
true.
There's just so many. It's like,
they won't pass that torch either.
Right. Well, exactly. And it's what we actually have is ageism in reverse, because like they sealed up all the opportunities that they had. They hate everything that's new, that's any type of threat to what they've built, and they don't want to give up the reins to the generation behind them. Like we still haven't, like, isn't that crazy that like we're in 2023 and we're still not seeing Gen Z leadership?
We're barely seeing millennial.
Right. We're not seeing millennial leadership. We're not seeing Gen Z. There's no massive overhaul of any of these systems. It's like the same thing, which is like when people are like, "Oh, well, like the system's racist." I'm like, "Yeah, because the motherfuckers won't give up their seats." Look, bro, like it. When people are like, "Oh, well, this person, the racism," I'm like, "Yeah, he's a fucking boomer. He's old. Like, what do you expect? Like, that's how he lived, bro. Like, that dude used to wake up, smoke a cigarette, take a shot of Jack, and go out and kick a black person in the ass on his way to work and felt good about it. Like, and they're not giving up those positions. So yeah, the system is kind of the way that it is because there's no one's in any of those jobs that grew up with any type of positive interaction with a black person that wasn't them kicking them in the ass. So like what do you expect? Like, yeah, we haven't shifted over.
Both parties are falling apart right now too, though. Have you seen the shit that's going on with the DNC?
I mean, are they trying not to let RFK be the person?
Oh, dude, they've already out. Though he's already went independent.
What?
Yes.
What?
Yeah, no, they wouldn't let him. They wouldn't give him the nomination.
No.
Yep, Bernie 2.0, baby.
Are they? Wait a minute. So you
can't make this shit up. You cannot make this shit up, bro.
So are they seriously going to put that corpse back up to run again?
They're gonna try.
Oh, they're not.
It's like if you sat back and watched me make terrible financial decision after financial decision, right? And then like there was a chance for my team to make like a positive financial decision, and I just like a football just banked it right into the fucking ground.
That's it. That is insane.
The biggest fumble, dude. RFK, right, Junior. I know he has a fuck voice, right? I understand.
Yeah.
Not everyone's perfect, but he was polling at 40% for the DNC nomination.
Yeah. And was a solid candidate. He actually had decent ideas. He had good ideas. Like I could have got behind that.
He had decent ideas.
Yeah.
And like decent-ish policies. Like no, like obviously he's a Democrat. I don't agree with everything he says, but at least he's physically fit.
Also true.
At least he's not like
he should just like rip Biden's ankles off.
Dude, no, I mean if he's able to get up there. Dude, I'd love it. Dude, could you imagine an RFK Donald Trump debate? Oh my fucking god.
Bruh.
Bro, you want to talk about a shit stain contest? Donald would be like, RFK Jr.'s gay. RFK Jr. would be like, well, how about you take off your shirt, fat boy?
Oh my god, bruh. Yeah.
It
would not, I don't think it would be mature. It'd be like a schoolyard fight.
I mean, that's one thing, right? He could just physique post on the entire fucking debate floor.
Facts.
Come out there in a suit with just like zero arms on the suit, just like walk out there like Stone Cold.
Bro. Walk out there with Stone Cold for reference. Like, I don't know, man. I think that
they threw their only chance away.
100%. I was like, who do they have? They got like Biden. They got the dude who's destroying California. Like, he's young, but he's just young. I'm just like, you're bad at your job.
terrible at his fucking job.
They'd be like, "Hey, do you like California? Do you want that to be the rest of the country? Vote for me." Like, what?
Like, no.
Yeah,
Oh.
no, it's
RFK was literally their ticket, man.
I mean, God, now that he's independent, like that's actually pretty interesting too. Like, I don't know. I mean, it's gonna be funny. It's gonna be funny if an independent gets second place, but you know they're gonna back to habits. All these people who believe that that party is for the working class and poor, and haven't realized that it's for the immigrants.
The new poor. What do you mean?
Right? But I mean, but think about it though. They ain't gonna be poor for long. Immigrants come here and eat our lunch. They just need work visas. Like,
true.
The only, literally, Bumpkin, let's be honest. The only reason they poor right now is because they can't work. Like, if they could work, 19 of them would be in a house and they'd be balling, baby. Like
there'd be fucking Camaros in the front yard.
Facts. They figure it out immediately. And them Camaros, they'd have their own mechanic within 2 weeks.
There'd be 18 Camaros outside of the Catholic Church.
Facts.
Sunday.
Well, have you noticed? Have you noticed that? Like, did you see what Dingleberry in Chicago said? I keep forgetting his name. What's the mayor's name up there?
I don't know. I gloss over.
He's trying to look like a WWF wrestler, like he was in a Cisco video at one time.
Shit. Is he black?
Yes.
Damn. I know who you're talking about.
Oh,
isn't he staunchly anti-immigration now? Isn't he like leaning that way?
No. Did you? Oh, you haven't seen what he recently said. Hold on a second. Let me hold on. Hold on. There we go. Hold up a second. Let me look this up real quick. Because he just recently did this video. Hold up a second. Let me mute this. Hold on.
Oh, by the way, while you're looking that up, everyone that I saw someone posted the New Frontier channel in the chat. If you want to catch more personalized streams, me and Andre both have personalized channels now as well. We're still streaming on the New Frontier, but we have personalized channels now too. Yeah.
Oh, here we go. I got the whole thing. So hold on. I'm gonna keep you up a little bit late. We're gonna close it out on this one. I hope you're prepared for a treat, Pumpkin. This is gonna be a good one to react to. I wasn't gonna do it, but now we gotta do it.
I'm outside. I've been through 5 cigarettes already. God damn it.
Okay, here we go. Prepare yourself for this gym. It's a political treat to just show where we're at going into this next election and why Ray is constantly pricing out one-way flights. So here we go.
The timing could not be more crucial. We cannot abandon families and asylum seekers and let them go through Chicago's winter alone.
Mayor Brandon Johnson today announcing a new initiative with Chicago's faith leaders to help shelter and feed migrants.
It comes as the city scrambles to build temporary shelter for thousands of asylum seekers.
Fox 32's Dane Placco reports on how many people will get help.
As temperatures plummet and migrants continue to pour into Chicago, Mayor Johnson announced a new partnership with Chicago area churches to help ease the migrant crisis. They're calling it the Unity Initiative.
The Unity Initiative will prioritize getting pregnant women, children, and all of those sleeping outside of police stations or on the floors into temporary housing as quickly as possible through churches all over the city of Chicago.
Funded by $350,000 in private donations, the partnership will initially involve 17 churches, housing up to 20 migrants each. The migrants will live at the churches and be provided food, medical care.
I'm about to throw. You're muted, by the way.
One of the things I wanted you to take note of who these church leaders are.
I'm about to throw a brick through a window, bro.
No, it gets better. It gets better.
Care and social services, and eventually employment.
We're prepared to receive the migrants compassionately, provide clean, warm shelter, prepared meals, humanitarian services.
Who the fuck this guy think he is? MLK? The fuck?
Remain camped at police stations, down from more than 3,000 a few weeks ago. And the number of migrants living at O'Hare is down to about 100. The pastors say they're ready to start immediately.
All these pastors have committed to start the process. So boots on the ground starting tomorrow, and we're going to start filling them up.
The mayor also responded to criticism from residents of Brighton Park, who say there's been a lack of transparency about plans to build a huge migrant camp on an empty lot.
We're not going to break away from our value system because right-wing extremism is sowing seeds of discord in this city.
Construction at that site is expected to begin tomorrow, even though Johnson says an environmental impact study of the site won't be released until the end of the week. Dane Placco, Fox 32 Chicago.
Okay, hold on. I got one more for you because they clipped out the part where he was talking about the right-wing extremism. So hold on.
It's the same right-wing extremism that refuses to accept the results of the Civil War.
This man just said to you guys that it was the same right extremism that did not want to accept the results of the Civil War. Do this Negro even know who is the one that said they want to be done with do this Negro know who is the party that wanted to keep slavery going? The same party that he's in right now. Well, tired flip BS. The same exact party that wanted to keep slavery going. The Republicans are the ones who were white people that were willing to kill other white people so that people that look like me, black people, would be free. This man just got done saying the Republican Party did not want to accept their victory. White people and black people of the Republican Party were being lynched and hung. Guess who they were being lynched and hung by? The KKK. And the KKK was the strong arm of what party?
Bruh. This is where we're at, Bumpkin.
I'm gonna throw a brick through a window, bro. This shit's crazy.
Hold on. So, not lost. The reason that this is upsetting is there are people who are homeless there that are American citizens that don't have access to these resources, and they're giving money and resources to people who shouldn't be here in the first place because they're cold. But the American people who need those resources will be left outside to die now.
Yeah, see, I hate people that argue like not laws, right? Yeah, Jesus definitely advocated for a replacement of your own people in your country for sure. He definitely advocated that. No, yeah, we're gonna ignore the Tower of Babel. We're gonna ignore the fact that he identified nations. We're gonna ignore all of those facts. No, we're going to misquote a Bible verse and use that as justification for being replaced in your own nation. That's crazy. That's wild. Dishonesty. My bad. Go ahead.
No. I mean, it's a disingenuous argument. Like, I get it because they're like, you point out you're being incompassionate to the people who showed up in your country that shouldn't be there in the first place. But I don't believe that anyone who like that'd be like if I showed up in Mexico and I was like, treat me better than your people, please. I'm here. Like, that's not gonna happen anywhere else on this planet. Like, if I show up into Canada right now, y'all gonna turn me around and send me right back. Like that. Canada don't even function like that. Like, I'm not rolling up in there. They're gonna be like, oh, American rolled up in there, slipped in the maple syrup slick and hurt himself. Let's give him all the surgeries in the world and then send him back. Like, no, y'all gonna be like, get up out of here. There's a doctor right over there. Got your name on it. Like, go back to your country. And it's not even that we have to do that. The issue is they're stepping over American citizens to do this.
They're stepping on.
Oh yeah, on. Yeah, on would work too, because they're outside frozen. They're just using them. They're stepping right on them. And it's a slap in the face to see our money, because they're talking about $350 million in private donations. There's no transparency on where this money is coming from or where is it coming from.
Taxpaying dollars, bro. It's a laundering scheme.
Yeah.
It always is.
Yeah, like they're stealing our money. And like me personally, I don't want to pay for it. Most Americans don't want to pay for it. The people in Chicago are upset that their resources are being taken because it's affecting them. Like, have you no regard for the citizens who exist there? Like,
hasn't Chicago been through enough, man? Jesus Christ.
He said America could spend $40 billion in all homelessness. Why don't they? Well, I mean, I don't know, because there sure are spending a bunch of money to house immigrants over American citizens. I mean, at this point, I don't care. Like, that's not even the question. Like, for the people that live here, because you don't. So, like, you're not losing any resources. You're literally, this doesn't affect you. Like, this is the same thing as if I was trying to tell Israel what they need to do. Like, I don't give a shit. I don't live there. I can pontificate from my side of the pond all I want. Right? You don't live here. So, like, you're not losing anything from us being screwed by these people, by our own government. This is just a further extension of our government not being representative of the sentiment of the people. Mayor Brendan Johnson does not even listen to people. They had multiple meetings where the community is holding that man to task, and he's sitting up there coordinating with the pastors about how they get in their money. What's happening in Chicago is the exact same thing that happened in Detroit. He is robbing that city. That city is being robbed blind by its leadership, by its aldermen. Everybody's getting a cut now. The city's going to hell. Chicago, Chirac is going to end up exactly like Detroit, probably worse, because y'all ain't even got an auto industry. It's not like something left and you were screwed. These people are just robbing you in your face. In your face.
Blind.
And telling you stupid while they're doing it.
How dare you not accept these immigrants into your house and have them spend alone time with your daughter? Sorry.
Right, dude. Like, this is ridiculous. And then earlier today, I saw that they cutting holes in the border fence with the news watching them and recording. And they trying to hit on the news lady. Like, these people, no one is like, this is probably the weakest America's ever been. They ain't even taking us seriously. They out there laughing at the newspaper people, recording them tearing up the border wall that we do have to push people through the holes. They had a man with one leg go through there. You know the gall you have to not have both your legs and break into a country and not be able to run. Like,
there's no one there stopping them, man.
Yeah, no one's taking, like, Mexico's not taking us seriously. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if the cartel don't try to come over here and take over.
Why wouldn't they?
When you successfully send the one-legged man through the hole in the wall, like, they're not digging holes under the border wall, they're cutting holes in the border wall.
Yes.
On camera in front of the news, and then stopped and told the news lady she was beautiful and was trying to holler at her while they were recording her while he was on the news. He didn't give a shit. Didn't care. And then shoved a one-legged man through the hole. Like,
think about the gloriousness of this, though. When this pendulum swings,
I mean, it's going to we have to. I mean, honestly, we're going to be taking this country back from the cartel. Is what's the Alamo's going to be Chicago. Like, it's going to be dumb.
It's a real simple solution. Make ICE members the same as U.S. Marshals. Give them the same jurisdiction.
Yeah. I mean, it's just wild to me, like that we are in a state where that's just what we're doing.
That's what we have to do. It's like they put us in this situation.
I know it's just wild. Like the thing that's crazy to me is specifically in Chicago is like the people who voted this person in are like, yo, we didn't know we signed up for this, which I can understand. You know, sometimes you know they promised you they was gonna do it one way. Next thing you know, they doing it a different way. They navigate and you like, hey, bro, we thought we was getting better. It's gotten worse. It's terrible. But for them to be moving this money in front of these people's faces and have zero regard for their concerns, their complaints, the resources that you're taking from them, and to sit there and get on the news and say white supremacy is doing this. Like, no, nigga, you doing it. Like, you are doing this. And in his spiel, he was saying that they're specifically targeting cities that are run by black leadership. And I'm like, no, you set yourself up as a sanctuary city. You told all these people down at the southern border that they got to let these people in from where you're at. So they said, fine, we're sending them to your house, your neighborhood. You deal with it. You want them here. And now you're upset that there's too many of them. But then you're also robbing the city that you're in. But then you're going to say white supremacy because they sent it to the place that's a sanctuary city. Why would you say you're a sanctuary city if you don't want people there?
You put a beacon on your back. You made
100%.
your sandwich. You have to eat it.
Right. And then to sit there and say white supremacy, like, no, you brought these people here. You're still allowing them to be here because you don't, you know, Mayor Brendan Johnson, I almost think that he might be a strong, independent black woman in disguise because he has sidestepped every ounce of accountability and refuses to admit that he was wrong. Because that's what this whole terrible experiment that we're living out politically is. They said, oh no, we need to let everybody in. The people at the border were like, we can't do that. And they were like, no, we're sanctuary cities. We can do it. You need to let them in and just have them be in your area. And he was like, nope, sanctuary cities it is. We're sending them all there.
This is why I'm a statist. This is why I'm a statist. This is why I believe in a strong federal government. States will get out of line so fucking fast.
Well, it's not that the states are getting out of line because the states that are at the border aren't allowed to navigate the border. Because, like, technically speaking, every state at the border should be in control of how they deal with the wall, right?
Right.
This isn't states. This is a federal issue because the federal government said, no, you got to let them in. And then within the United States, you had places like Chicago, places like New York, places like California going, no, we're going to let everybody in. It's all love, man. It's all love. Let them in. But it wasn't their problem. That's literally, we going back to the Civil War. It's states that aren't affected imposing. I'm just saying, like, this is literally the exact same shit. They're going, oh no, we got to let everybody in because Chicago said so. Chicago's nowhere near the border.
No.
Nowhere near it. But you're affecting the state that has to deal with where these people are just walking into their area and taking up their space.
I don't think people realize how like bad this immigration policy is, man. Or how bad the immigration situation is. You have illegal Hispanics in North Dakota or in Montana or on the Canadian border.
Right.
That are trying to cross over into Canada now as well.
Yeah. Like, and I mean, I'm all for it, dude. If Canada wants to be a sanctuary country, let them. We'll bus you right on through. Like, that's fine.
We'll build you a highway.
Facts, dude. We'll build an express transit that'll be the first bullet train in the United States. It'll get you from the southern border to the Canadian border in 5 minutes.
But don't you be stopping. Don't you get off.
You can't get off. Can't get all. No, there ain't no stops. It's just one shot, bro. Like, but yeah, like that's what I'm saying. I'm like, they're imposing their wills, and then when the hens come home to roost, and you got all these immigrants in your state or your city, after you talked all that good stuff about what those states have to do, now it's white supremacy. Now it's race. And I'm like, bro, how bad you have lost to jump straight to the race card after all the trash that he talked?
Who?
Mayor Brendan Johnson. Like, when we're a sanctuary city, we're going to keep our standards, da, 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 da. Oh, yeah, by the way, since you sent him here, you're racist? Like, what? What?
It's like, no, the rural, these rural states, which the majority of them are rural, right? Because no one wants to live next to the southern border, besides crazy white folks.
Yeah.
And they're tired of dealing with it, man. They won't let them use their own personal National Guards.
Right. And so, but my question is, I'm like, dude, America's gonna be New Palestine, bro. Pretty soon Venezuela is gonna start claiming land and be like, hey, bro, since we're all there,
Israel 2.0.
Venezuelan homeland, family. Keep coming and taking up space.
Just like the Israelis went up in there and be like, this looks like some nice land here. You know, it'd be a shame if, we decided to make this an independent nation.
Facts. Dude, look, Not Lost is already telling them not to come. He said immigrants don't want to come here. Housing is expensive, food expensive, and winters are brutal. Bro,
same here.
Bro, listen, they don't want to go to Chicago either. It's terrible. It's less terrible in comparison to Canada, but like, it's terrible. And these are tropical people. Like, let's be honest.
Then what the fuck are they doing in North Dakota, bro?
So it's a thing up there. He said America doesn't even want Venezuela to have Venezuela. That's true. I'll give you that one. Oh man. But so North Dakota's being like that too?
It's not a sanctuary. No, there's ICE running around everywhere around here, but it's just like they're up here. They're here.
Dang.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how the fuck did you guys end up here of all places?
Bro, I think they're just going anywhere, to be honest. And I think the troll is you move them as far up north as you can because it's cold. Like, I mean, honestly, like at this point, I'm like, dude, drop them off in St. Cloud. It's hella cold up there. Like, and then they'll be on the news talking about I want to go home. We'll be like, perfect, we can facilitate that.
Yeah, if this pendulum swings, man, there's gonna be people being round up and shit, thrown back across that border. Keep in mind they told us the border wall was too expensive. I just want to point that out. That was about $12 billion for the border wall. That was too expensive. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. The wall was too expensive, but funding them indefinitely after they get here and getting the resources set up so that they can have their American dream.
Not only that, we've given $170 billion to Ukraine. It looks like we're going to give Israel a equal amount to that these coming next couple of years. So
yeah, and I mean, my question is, that leaves the question. It's like, okay, so if that's how we're rocking out, then cool, but we're funding everyone else's defense except for our own.
Yep.
That's very telling. There's like, that's too expensive to secure our borders, but we'll secure everyone else's borders that's not here.
But this is a black pill. This is also a white pill, right? Because populism wins over everything, right? Me and you talking like this, all right? You show this to the average person from Chicago, they're going to agree with us. Show this to the average person in Texas, they're going to agree with us. Shit. Even some average people in California is going to agree with us.
Yeah.
And populism always wins. That's the one thing that these quote unquote liberal democracies can't fucking combat. They cannot combat populism. They have never been able to. It's just about getting your voice out there, man. That's really all it's about.
Yeah. 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 I tell you. Okay. I'm going to get up out of here. You got to go to sleep. I got to go to sleep.
Yeah, I got to wake up at like 4 a.m. So.
Yeah. Okay. We going to bed. Everybody, we going to bed. It's been a good night. Good to rock with you.
Good to rock with you too. Say no to immigration.
Bro, we gotta do a pause. We gotta do a pause. And remember your habits. Because the state of affairs that we're in, hate to say it, but we earned this shit. Didn't happen overnight. Happened incrementally, and it happened based on habits. Got to start being conscious about your habits, people. You got to assess your habits every once in a while. You got to really dig down and be like, hey, is this serving? And if it's not, cut it out. It's your boy Reckless Ray De Niro, hosting the Guns and Butter Show. Till next week, next Thursday. Peace.